Hey guys, what's going on? So today we are doing some fragments. It is currently 23:26 server time. This is actually a pre-recorded video, so it's not really. This was actually a couple days ago, but I didn't want to actually record, do a live recording while doing this method because that would be too much stress then. I've touched on this method a few times in previous videos, and basically it's just using a loot booster 30 minutes before reset, doing your fragment runs, and being able to do more fragment runs with new upper dungeon keys the next day while using only one loot booster. So in a nutshell, that's the method. Here we are using our loot booster, and then we're going to go for some runs. There are a few important things that I recommend you to do. First of all, that is realizing expectations, because for example, I'm farming here on chapter 4. Now I can do chapter 5, and it's not that difficult to do chapter 5. The problem is it's not fast enough. I wanted to do 25 runs on each day, which means I have to do chapter 4 for the majority. I do a little bit of chapter 5 at the end because I had a few extra minutes, but for the most part I did do chapter 4, because when you really think about it, 25 runs in 30 minutes, that is about a little over 1 minute per run. And then you have to take into consideration loading times, boss intros. That may not seem like anything, but it was very noticeable while I was doing that. You see how slow the bosses die and then come in. It goes all slow motion, action, sequence, impact, whatever. So I did a little bit of planning beforehand. So before I popped the loot booster, I knew the stages I wanted to run. I knew what fragments I needed, so I didn't waste any time checking that or deciding on which stage I need to go to now. I decided to do this on the weekend where they give us double upper dungeon entries, so that's 5 less keys I have to buy. If I were to do this outside of that, which I wouldn't really recommend anyway because of the fact loot boosters are so hard to get, especially if you're not going to be spending money. I think there were 2 loot boosters in either the starter pack 1 or starter pack 2, which I did buy. So I had 3 of them total, and the third one I actually got from Tower of Challenges floor 40. And I haven't been playing long enough and haven't really cared to do research about it if Tower of Challenges actually resets or if those are actually one-time rewards. So potentially you could get a loot booster every month, maybe not. Maybe besides that very first one you have to buy them. If it is a monthly thing and there are other ways to get loot boosters that I'll find out later, then it might be worth doing on other days if you just want to get some units raised. I might use another loot booster outside of the day that it gives us 10 keys, just because I want to get my first T1 hero. Of course, then I would probably only use 20 keys and not 25, because when you're buying keys, the first refresh is 100, second refresh is 200, third refresh is 400, and that's where I stopped because the next refresh is 800 after that, just for 5 keys. That is by far not a very good value. Even during loot booster. So that's it. That's basically the method. The method is simple enough to understand, but a couple other things I did learn is that runs aren't as fast as you think they are. Because of course you have to take into consideration everything else. This in the screen here, the loading times, the like I said, the boss introductions. So on chapter 5, for example, especially because I have a mostly full magic team besides my tank, which doesn't really do any damage anyway, and the guys on chapter 5 have very high magic resistance or magic immunity. Some of them give themselves buffs. So some stages on there take well over 2 minutes for a full cycle, you know? So that's basically the loot booster method. Besides that, you basically can only farm upper dungeon. Some people don't refresh keys. I recommend that you absolutely do refresh keys. So while using a loot booster, I'll refresh 3 times because you're getting double the fragments every run, and then those rubies to fragments are worth it then. But on normal days where I'm not using a loot booster, I'll refresh twice. So 1 for 100 and 1 for 200. This is also why I don't recommend buying heroes, because especially as a free-to-play player, you're not going to be able to sustain 300 rubies spending a day on upper dungeon if you buy a hero, because you get a lot of free easy ones in the beginning, and I assume that slows down after a while. But of course, while you're not using a loot booster, you should definitely go on the hardest chapter you can, regardless of how long it takes, regardless of how hard it is, because of course you get more there. So that's basically it. I don't know what I'm gonna put in the background because I'm just recording my voice right now. I recorded all my runs from yesterday, so I'll probably make a little montage out of that. I don't know exactly how many fragments I got, but I'll probably put that up on screen anywhere, or maybe I'll write it in the thumbnail. That'd actually be pretty funny. 700 fragments in 1 hour. It's not really clickbait. I mean, it's true and all. It just sounds clickbait. Yeah, so here we are doing our last run here. 1 minute left on the loot booster. And we just finished up the 50th run actually in the hour. 25 first day, 25 second day. And as you can see there for a second, 800 rubies to refresh the 4th time. Also, what's totally strange is that I made it to master in arena, but when the thing reset, you can see here on in the mail, it gave us 1200 arena tokens for being in challenger. Which was very weird because I never made it to Challenger, but I heard it's like the top 50 people or something like that. I don't know exactly how it works, and I'm definitely not complaining about it. I also recorded a few arena matches, which I may post sometime. At this time I have a full team of 5 stars, but while I was doing those arena matches, I still had 2 5 stars and 2 4 stars. And there were some pretty interesting matches in there. Matches against full Transcendence 1 heroes. But yeah, let me know if you want to see those in the comments down below. Also, if you have any other questions related to fragment farming and maybe something I missed, you can also drop that down there. Leaving a like would be greatly appreciated as always. And subscribe for more videos like this. I guess that's about all for the plugs. Thanks guys, as always, for watching, and until next time.